Welcome to the Direct Line powered by 10Bet. I'm Nikico. Coming up on today's show, it's our special guest. Turffontein Racecourse is our special guest today. It plays host to the big meeting coming up on Saturday the 7th of March, the big classic meeting here at Turffontein, and we'll be going around Turffontein and showing you some hot spots on the racecourse to look out for on the big day on Saturday. We'll also be chatting a bit later to trainer Yan Yansfen about some of his runners on the day. We'll also have our competition, and later on Nico's notebook, we take a quick look at what big runners we expect to run well on Saturday. That's all coming up on the Direct Line, powered by 10Bet. So Turffontein Racecourse is where the home of racing is here in full racing country in Gauteng. It undoubtedly is one of the most spectacular racecourses in the world. It really is a true test of stamina, and any horse that wins a Grade 1 event, of which there are 3 coming up this Saturday, is considered to be an elite racehorse and very high up in the rankings. Now, normally on a morning, horses are transported to Turffontein from their various training centres around Gauteng, and they come and they stand in these holding boxes behind me over here. But what happens is, before their race runs, they're actually led to the saddling area. And let's take a walk there and you can actually see where the saddling areas are. So they've obviously got a number on their saddle cloth, and for each race, they're led to their saddling area where the trainer puts on the saddle and then makes sure that everything is right with that racehorse before they run. So the grooms of those horses and the trainers get the horses ready with all the equipment, make sure that it's got the right equipment on, whether it's wearing blinkers or whether it's wearing cheek pieces or any different headgear, make sure that its hooves are okay, that it's shod correctly, and then the horses are then led into the parade ring for all the public to see how well the horse looks on the day and whether they ultimately are going to have a bet on the horse. So these are the saddling boxes over here, and you can see they're numbered all over here, right down until 20. But effectively, let's say your saddle cloth number 15, you'd come over here, the horse would have saddle cloth number 15 on, and then you'd be held over here where the trainer would meet the horse with the groom and the saddle. The trainer would ultimately bring the saddle out, because remember that saddles are a specific weight that they need to be so that it complies with the race card weight. So the saddle plus the jockey has to equal the weight that that horse is carrying in the race card. So the horse will come through over here. You can see the horse would then stand here nice and quietly, hopefully, away from all the noise, and in a calm environment would then be saddled and then taken to the parade ring, where it then walks around for a little bit, and I'll show you that parade ring in a moment, before it's taken out to the main parade ring, and then it goes out onto the track. Well, we don't have a physical guest with us today on the Direct Line, but we've got a guest in the form of Turffontein Racecourse. It's known as the Big T, and it's situated in the south of Johannesburg. And you now join us in the old parade ring, which is quite serene and a very nice quiet place where we used to gather to have a look at all the horses before they used to run. We'll show you the new parade ring, but ultimately, once the horses are saddled, they are brought through here for a few minutes, just a circle behind me. You'll see on these sandy paths around me, it goes in a circle, and ultimately the horses are left here. Now, any member of the public can come and stand on the perimeter of the parade ring here to have a look at what the horses actually look like, and then they're led down the chute. So this is where you get a first glimpse of the horse that you'd like to bet on the day. Now the horses are ready to go and do their business on the racetrack. So what eventually happens is that the horses are led away from the old parade ring to be paraded in the new parade ring, which is the public area where people get to see their horses. They're led in numerical order. They come from that old parade ring down this path and all the way through to the new parade ring, which is where we're going to show you, and as quietly as possible. On the right hand side of me though, this building here is where the jockeys get ready for the races. They would get ready in their jockey room over here, which is got showers, it's got places where they store their kit, and then the jockeys weigh in this particular area too. The weighing room is inside here too, where the jockeys can check their weight, and together with a saddle, which comes out this way, as we mentioned, to the saddling area, and then the saddle gets put on the horses, and the horses get to meet with their jockeys and their trainers out in the front, which is where we will be next. Well, we're just days away from the big race on Saturday. Hence, you can hear the grass cutters going on in the background. They're cutting the grass and making this place look really nice. This is where the action starts for each particular race. The horses are paraded here. Everyone comes to have a look at them. The presenters on the day have a good close look at whether their horses are sweating, whether they're calm, what their demeanor's like. And the owners and trainers get to chat to their jockeys here behind me and get to tell them the instructions of how to ride their race. So it really is a hub of activity on a race day, this particular area. And on the perimeter, you'll find that all the public line up to see their horses. They'll also watch them from the grandstands and from all the private boxes upstairs in the magnificent Turffontein grandstand that is situated behind me. And us as commentators watch from the commentary box, which is also very high up in the sky, where we can get a good look at these horses with our binoculars too. So this is the glorious Turffontein home straight. It's 800 meters long. So once the horses turn frame, they've got 800 meters of turf to run on before they get to the finishing line. We're standing at about the 30-meter marker. At this stage, if you haven't made your run, it's too late. But if you're running on strongly here, you've got every chance of getting to the finishing post first. The ground underneath me is very thick. The grass is quite thick. And horses need to be ultra fit to run. Remember that Saturday's big races are run over 1,800 meters. So by the time they've come here, they've already had a testing 1,770 meters with about 30 more meters to go before they get to the finishing line. It really is a true test of a good racehorse, because there are uphills and there are downhills and there are inclines and there are declines on this racetrack. Not severe, but they are there, and horses have to know, or jockeys have to know, when to time their horses run to absolute perfection. This is the finishing line. This is where it all happens, where you have to be first past the post in order to win the race. And that's what we're looking for when we constantly select horses to see who can get here first. Well, here we are on the main grandstand at Turffontein, where most people come and sit and watch racing. You don't have to pay to get into these seats, apart from a big day like the Summer Cup, or maybe one or two others. This is free entrance. So you can come and sit on these wonderful chairs and have a bird's eye view of what's going on the racetrack. And it really is a wonderful place to be. You can hear in the background all the leaf blowers and the weed eaters are doing their job just to make this course very pristine for our big day this coming Saturday, the 7th of March. So we're standing here at the yard of Yan Yansfen, in fact at the training ring of Yan Yansfen, and we're looking at Bakwena at the moment, and Yan is here with me. Thanks for inviting us to your ring.
Pleasure, Nico.
And showing us your horses. So that's Bakwena. Thank you very much. And runs in the Acacia Stakes. Your thoughts?
Nico, a bit sharp. Small, sharp nowadays for her. We always thought she'll go a little bit further, but when we had her in the 12 round last year, she was quite ill. We tried her over the 18. It was an absolute disaster. Her SAA was through the roof, and I took a chance. She'd probably never have done it. Well, I know for a fact I shouldn't have done it, but she's proven to us now that she stays a bit. Her last couple of runs over a mile, she's also a bit of a funny ride. You've got to be patient on her, and you've got to run between horses. She's got a certain way she likes to run, but I can see at home her confidence is up. She enjoyed that last win. She's been super bright over the last 2-3 weeks, even from that last run. I didn't have a perfect race for her right now, so I thought we might as well take a chance in the Acacia. It's a big day. Listen, she's working really well. A lot will probably depend on the pace of the race. She's got a nice draw. Keegan knows her very well now. He's ridden a couple of times. So yeah, listen, if it was 1,800, I would be 20% more confident. If it was a 2,000, I would be 60% more confident. But I've got the filly spot on. She's had a super prep. She's feeling fantastically bright, and yeah, I think I'll be disappointed. I know she'll run well. I just don't know if well will be a win or a fifth.
Well, Johan's got two runners in the JJ, the Jet Plane Stakes. And the first one is Cosmic Star, who's done extremely well most recently. And there's a look at Cosmic Star, just having some time here in the ring after training today. And in the background there's Mount Pinatubo, who also runs in the same race. Always been extremely impressed by this good-looking horse, Mount Pinatubo. Look at him. He knows that the camera's on him now, and he's just having a roll around. He's always been a very impressive look. Johan's going to tell us about what he thinks about both of them in the big race. What do you think?
Nico, Cosmic Star loves the wet. He's proven it. His best form has been in the wet. Just the last 2 runs. Okay, last time the gate closed on him early and he kind of dodged the gate. But the time before he also jumped poorly at the valve. So listen, he's getting old. He's got his issues. We've known that. He's got to come out the gates because he runs from quite far off them in a race, and by giving them start, he finds himself 9 lengths off them instead of 5 lengths off them where you want to be. So listen, he's a horse you can't disregard in a race like that. But I do prefer my other horse ability-wise, Mount Pinatubo. He's always been a horse with tons of ability. He's just also had problems. He's had a lot of problems. But I feel that we've had him the best I've had him move in probably a year and a half. I decided, you can see Turffontein is quite wet. I decided to not give him a final sprint up in the going. I'd rather just run him. He's probably going to be a top horse. It's going to take one more run to get at his super fitness, mainly because we find a trick with him now. We do a lot of slow work with him, long slow work with him, and we keep the fast work to a minimum. He's got talent and he's got speed, so it's not a horse that needs fast work to get to his best. But in saying that, second run after race, he will still need it. But he's a talented horse, so he can give horses like that a good run for their money, even when he's 70%. I'm quite excited to get Keegan on him and get to know him. And even though I do think we've got a chance, he's arguably my weakest best with Alpine Jet on the day of a winner. Pretty persuasive, also doing good. But yeah, we definitely prepping for the big day, for the computer form sprint. He's going to run there regardless, unless something unforeseen goes wrong in a race and we can't go there. But that's always been the plan, 2 runs into the computer form sprint. But he's doing super good, and a bit of luck in running. I think he can definitely be in the finish.
Right, we've got Alpine Jet here for you, folks. Always been a very, very decent filly. She's always given of her best. They've always rated her fairly highly in the yard, and here she is on Wednesday morning. We hear she's absolutely loving life, and Johan, you've got to be happy with her progress.
Nico, as you can see, her coat is unbelievable. She's full of dapples. She's pitch black in her face. She ran in a wet 3 runs ago. She came back with a tweaked suspensory, and I ran her back soon after that with not 100%, and I shouldn't have done that. And then I decided to give her a rest because she's got talent. Gave her a short rest, and she came back in her last run. She was moving exceptionally well, and she ran accordingly. She ran a bit underdone in that race and ran to good horses. And we've kept the same working program with her. She's moving exceptionally well. We've got the suspensory well under control at the moment. And listen, we've drawn 1. Would have preferred to be drawn 6 out of 6, then drawn 1, but luckily there's a small field.
Yeah.
A lot of the jockeys have been telling me the track's running fair lately. Inside big draws and low draws are the same. For me, you'll have to pay me a lot of money to believe that.
I'm in your camp, but having said that Miami Mountain did come through and win.
There's been a lot of horses that's winning up the middle inside nowadays. But listen, it's a smaller field. That helps us a lot. So I haven't studied the card yet. I just don't know how much speed is in the race, but she's a filly that loves to follow 1 or 2 good clip, and she's definitely going to run on strongly. She's obviously talented, we know that, and she's got to be a massive runner in that field.
I would think so. Yeah.
If she finds the best form, which I think she will, because she's looking super good and she's moving extremely well.
Well, we had a bit of a scare this morning with Pretty Persuasive. Just after I arrived, there was a loose horse on the track, and it was her. She dropped her rider. But I tell you what a clever girl she is, because she came right back here to the ring, and as if she knew what she was doing. I mean, she's a very intelligent filly, and she runs over the 1400 on Saturday. Jan, what do you think?
Yeah, Nico, talking about intelligence, a lot of these Vercingetrixes I've had over the last couple of years are super clever horses. You can just look at her face and you can see she's an intelligent type. But anyway, Nico, we've gone back to the 1400. She qualifies for the big cap in Greyville on 12th of April, I think it is. So we've gone back to the 1400. If that race wasn't there, I probably would have taken a chance wanting to run in the classic. Even though I don't think she would have stayed. It's sometimes you get a slow down race and you do get away with it, but irrelevant. That's got nothing. We did go with the 1400 mainly because of the big cap, and then we got Felicani Macaulay on because he's going to ride for us. I think she's carrying 50 kilograms in the big race. She's doing good. I do believe 1400 is probably a best trip. We don't have a bad draw, but we also don't have a nice draw, so we're just going to hope for a bit of cover. If we can get one off the fence, 3 lengths behind him, I think that will be a nice run for us. We've obviously trained her knowing that that's the main aim. She's not tuned up to her eyeballs. She's not a filly that takes a lot of work. She's quite fit as it is, even though we haven't drilled her. But the run is just there for us to get Felicani to get to know her a little bit better. But in saying that, she's probably in the right field, and she's got to also be a huge runner. But she's definitely not going to get panel beaten to win unless it's short-haired finishes. We just wanted to come on from this run and have a spot on for that big cap.
Well, Lanzarote and Merryweather are the other 2 horses that aren't here with us at the training tracks. They've already gone back home. They worked much earlier. Your quick comments on them for Saturday?
Nico, Lanzarote is a filly. She showed us a lot of talent, and she came very, very quickly on her own without us drilling her. The thing with her, she's quite a hot filly. First time out, we had a little tickle on her. Well, not us, the owners. And things went completely wrong. She misbehaved very badly. She flipped in her parade ring. Just the moment was just way too big for her, and she behaved extremely badly. Her last run, she was better. When we saddled her, she saddled extremely well. She was very good in her parade ring, but once again behind her starting stall, she did misbehave. She's just a bit of a temperamental filly. 1 or 2 erupt fillies. I've had a lot of them. 1 or 2 erupts fillies, especially the colts, are generally very mild. So, yeah, listen, not ideal running these fillies on big races, but she's had 2 runs under the belt now. Her work has been solid, and that's mainly why I decided to go for this race. There was another race in 10 days' time that we could have probably tried and burgled the bonus. But I looked at the field and I saw the one filly gone against the colts. And then Griselda beat us a length and a half last time with 3 kilograms better off. Not that 3 kilograms makes a huge difference in a sprint. But our filly gave a good account of herself last time. And if Griselda's going to be the horse to beat, we cannot be far off that. So sometimes things go your way and doesn't go somebody else's way and you get lucky. But with her, she's a type of filly, you just got to see how she behaves on the day. It's not a type of filly you can put in your bets early on until you've seen her go down and how she behaves. But she's got a lot of talent. She's a quick filly. She's growing. She's getting stronger. And listen, we'll see how it goes on Saturday, but she's a filly that won't take forever to win her first race.
And then Merryweather, I think she won a couple of runs ago. A very, very good finish. She showed a lot of heart there.
Nico, she looks like she wants to stay. Every time I pulled her back to a 1400, she almost gets lost in the race. Last time I went into the race, her blood wasn't 100%. It was good enough to run though. I just don't know, it just went completely haywire. She was way out of her ground from a bad draw, and she just never seemed to pick it up. I don't know if she's a gimme, like, they got their own minds sometimes, gimme fillies, again fillies, all fillies. And she just looked like she didn't want to raise a gallop when she turned into the straight. So yeah, listen, we got a much better draw this time. We're over a better trip. We are running against quality fillies. And even though I've always wanted to run a year, we are probably, listen, until she's proven, we're probably slightly outclassed as we speak right now. So she's probably my weakest chance on the day. But at the same time, if you take the top 3 or 4 away, there's a whole bunch of them going off more or less the same rating, running for 5th. So yeah, that's more or less our aim. Good draw, get a nice place. Keegan also knows her now. He's been on her before. So I'll be super happy if you can run 5th.
So finally, the comments about Classic Day. Looking forward to it. Obviously, there's a bit of rain predicted for Friday, but in general, always a grade 1 day at Turffontein. Always a day to look forward to, I'm sure.
Yeah, Nico, I looked at the fields. Listen, there's not a lot of big fields, but there's some quality horses running on the day. I'm actually excited to come racing. My horses personally had good preps. It's going to be tough to have a winner, but we're definitely going to be competitive in a couple of races. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to racing Saturday. we hope that rain stays away because I don't know, just wet tracks never makes it fair tracks for me. My personal opinion, but yeah, so the better the going, I think it's going to be a super day.
Wonderful, and the Verner's box will be full of people and activity there.
Yeah. I think lots of runners for Lawrence on the day, just not from me.
Yeah.
It's got some really nice horses running, so hopefully you can burgle 1 or 2 on the day.
Yeah, and thanks for your time again, and all the best for the weekend.
Thanks, Nico. Please. Thank you.
Well, away from the hustle and bustle downstairs, we've decided to come up and seek refuge in one of the function rooms here at Turffontein. We're in the centenary room, which is situated on the 3rd floor of the magnificent Turffontein grandstand. And we're here to do our competition for this week. Now, last week, unfortunately, our competition winner, Ravens Grindling, did not respond in time. He didn't enter his names for his 3 races, potential winners, by 9 o'clock on Saturday morning. Therefore, it's a rollover of that 500 Rand onto this week. So therefore, this week we're giving away 1,000 Rand in 10-bet betting vouchers to a lucky winner. All you have to do to enter the competition is send through your name and your mobile number to our email address, the direct line SA, that's one word, the direct line SA @gmail.com. Your name and your mobile number, and you could be a winner on our next show. Right, so here's our bag with all the potential winners for this week. We've got loads and loads of competition entries, and let's choose this week's winner. Now, we've definitely chosen the Turffontein meeting to pick winners at this weekend, so there's no choice of race meeting, but this is our winner. I've chosen a name from here, and the winner is Roderick Govender. Roderick Govender is our winner this week, and you could be winning 1,000 Rand worth of 10-bet betting vouchers. But the next question is, which races is Roderick going to tip on? It's either going to be the odds or the even numbers. And we have 12 races this coming Saturday. So 12 races will be this coming Saturday. We have 2 cards in here. I'm going to get a bit of license for a hand to appear from nowhere. I'm going to ask Dizzy to come through. Dizzy's my producer, and just pull out Roderick's races that he's going to tip on. Is it either odds or evens? And it is evens. Yet again, Nico gets the odd numbers. It's amazing how it often works. So the last 6 races of the day are what we focused on. Roderick Govender, you have to pick the winners of races 8, 10, and 12. And I will be up against you choosing races 7, 9, and 11. And it's whoever tips the most number of winners. So if Roderick tips more winners than me, he wins the 1,000 Rand. However, if he tips the equal number of winners than me, then it is rolled over to 1,500 Rand for next week. And of course, if he loses, he walks away with nothing. So Roderick Govender, you're tipping on the even numbers at the Classic Day on Saturday, and looking forward to report back on that over the weekend. Stand by. Our last section is Nico's Notebook. And welcome to our final section on the show today on the direct line powered by 10Bet. We're now looking at Nico's Notebook, and I only have 2 things in my notes today. One is the revision of the crop and penalties of the use of the crop guidelines that were issued by the NHA during the course of the week, which will take effect on the 1st of April. And just reading their press release, the National Horse Racing Authority of Southern Africa confirms that its National Board of Directors has unanimously adopted the amendments to Appendix E, use of the crop, and the associated crop penalty document as proposed by the Rules Committee, and that happened on the 25th of February. The Rules Committee, which is representative of the entire horse racing industry, comprises National Board Directors, NHA Executive Management, and stakeholders drawn from operators, owners, trainers, and jockeys. The amendments therefore reflect a consultative, industry-wide process and a shared commitment to equine welfare, regulatory certainty, and the integrity of the sport. And it's necessary for that to happen so that we can keep horse racing clean and keep it in line with the international guidelines with regard to the use of the crop or the stick or the whip, as it's sometimes referred to. And what we're going to be doing in the next week or 2 is take a look at how those penalties arise and how jockeys can avert using their crop in different ways. And we'll be calling on the assistance of Robert Moore, who's the Academy Master here in Joburg of the Apprentice Academy, and asking him and his jockeys to show us what these different guidelines are and how jockeys are allowed and how are not allowed to use their crop in a particular race. Also, in Nico's notebook, we're looking at whether or not we can get triple tiara or triple crown winners this year. Remember, the winners of the first legs are both in the second legs. The winners of the Guineas races, which are run on the 7th of February, are both contesting the classic races. We've got the filly Hazy Daisy, who won the Fillies Guineas, running in the Fillies Classic. And honestly, to be looking at that race, I think she's going to be the horse to beat over there. I don't think that there's many that can beat her, and I think she really is on an upward trajectory. Remember, we had the Spies stable as guests of ours, and they said she'd be ultra effective over even further than the 1600 meters. So I think that Hazy Daisy is definitely in line to win the Vilgebos Drift Triple Tiara as she goes for the second leg this coming Saturday. On the Colts front, which take place in the Hong Kong Jockey Club Whirlpool SA Classic, in that particular race, despite a small field, Split the Eights is looking to go back-to-back. But Yan van Gooyen makes his return after a disappointing last run down in Cape Town in the Lomeran's King's Plate. And I think, to be honest, I think it's going to be very hard to beat his stable companion, Yan van Gooyen. So I'm tipping Yan van Gooyen to win the Colts Classic. And therefore, if he does, there'll be no one in line to win the full Triple Crown, which ends up, of course, with the SA Derby run at the beginning of April. Looking forward to the day. As you know, it's a Hong Kong Jockey Club Whirlpool event, so our 3 Grade 1 races will be bet on by the entire world through using Hong Kong as the hub. And it's great to have the Hong Kong Jockey Club in action at Turffontein this coming Saturday. We're looking forward to a glorious meeting. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed me taking you around Turffontein today, and we're looking forward to seeing you on next week's show. So stay tuned for another episode of The Direct Line, powered by 10Bet next week. I'm Nikico signing off from the Big T. Bye-bye for now.